you run companies. I mean, tell us how you managed to to do all of this.
Yes. So my story. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up in the South, and my family moved us to Minnesota. And ever since I moved to Minnesota, I started to become a man of faith and putting God 1st. And once I started to do so, I started to surround myself around like-minded people. I went to 3 colleges in 3 years. I went to school in Iowa. I was a part of the national champion team in wrestling, cross country. Then I transferred to school out in California, Sierra Nevada College. And then in my transfer from Sierra Nevada College, I wanted to go back home to Minnesota. My family had moved back to Tennessee, so I had no family there. So within my transfer back to Minnesota, I went through a homeless phase. I survived the summer of 2013 with only $1.78. And once I started to really ask and learn how to be humble enough to ask for help from people around my circle, I got a ride to St. Cloud State University. And when I was in St. Cloud, at 19 years old, that's when I started my very first business. It was called Art Enterprises. And that was me hiring a company to come up with my very first app, which was called Zombie Doodle. So I had this really big drive to become an entrepreneur, and I didn't have money or anything to actually come up to actually make it happen. So what I did was I crowdsourced, I saved up my funds, and I hired a company overseas to come up with my app. And when I was 19 years old, I was very broke. I had a friend. She said she recommended me to watch a movie called The Secret, and that movie taught me how to learn about the law of attraction, the energy that you give off, you shall receive. Was becoming a more of a faith-based person. And at 19 years old, I joined the Chambers of Commerce, which is where a bunch of business owners come together for like-minded, and they just brainstorm. And I met a mentor. And my mentor, she took me under her wings, and she put the right books into my hand, the Think and Grow Riches, the Les Brown to Tony Robinson's. And I got so inspired by those books that I said, well, there's no difference in those people telling their stories and me learning how to tell mine. And ever since then, I've been blessed to put out multiple books. When I was 19, my first book was called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I'm teaching like-minded people how to intellectually tackle and understand their inner thoughts. We all have a conscious mind. We all have a subconscious mind. But our subconscious mind is what helps us attract and actually experience the life that we want to have. And then I just released my second book this year called The Essence of Inspiration. I believe that we all get inspired on our daily lives, but it's up to us to actually define what inspiration is and how do we scale our lives going forward. When I started to really, again, surround myself with like-minded people, I started to discover what my passion was. It was not only just inspiring people and networking with them, but I realized that everyone wants to, for those that want to build a business, they must know how to market. They must know how to brand. And so I picked up a couple of books. I started to surround myself with people who had marketing businesses. And that's when I created Motivated Investors Group, which is my marketing consulting firm. It's me meeting people who have brands, who have passions, and me helping them really narrate that towards them scaling their business, getting the word out, and just helping them ultimately go forward what they're looking to do in life.
Okay, we'll come back to your books in the course of the show, but I'd like us to go back to Darius as a humanitarian worker. What does that mean precisely? What do you do in terms of being a humanitarian? Do you have any particular project? Do you help people? What do you do precisely in this domain?
Yeah. So what I did was I started to see a lot of things that are happening in the media. Obviously, we turn on the news, we'll see an unarmed African-American or unarmed minority getting killed. So what I did was that I got out of my comfort zone and I partnered with the Brooklyn Central Police Department out here in Minnesota. And I have been a part of their Multicultural Advisory Committee, which is me coming to the table and seeing what policies that needs to be in place so our people of color and people in general can get more along with the police department. We have a lot of friction, a lot of distrust. And so I created a movement called #Pose with a Cop, which is changing the narrative between minority and policing. And what the really big message is that we can really come together if we see each other as no different than the police officers. The police officers see us no different than themselves. And so when I started to do that, I've been doing that for about 4 or 5 years, which has been just changing the narrative and having a conversation and getting more people of color to the table, and having their voices being heard at a time that we feel that we're pushed against the wall. In the other sense, I work with the 15 Now organization out here in St. Paul, Minnesota. What the 15 Now is, what the organization 15 Now is, it is raising minimum wage to $15 an hour. We have a really big crisis when it comes to economics and being able to live sustainably. And so what I did was I became a community organizer with that organization. I got a chance to speak at the state capitol in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm speaking on generational poverty. Again, I come from a background of that. I didn't come up with a house. I lived in apartments, and money was always an issue in my household. Well, I'm not the only household in the world that has money issues. So one thing I did when I was invited to be a part of the organization is I gave a speak on generational poverty. And for us to overcome generational poverty, we must take accountability of our finances and discover what that looks like going forward. Right. And so I joined part of that organization, helped pass the law. We changed the law not only in Minneapolis to $15 minimum wage, but also in St. Paul, Minnesota, where they're slowly and gradually helping low-income families become sustainable by just raising the minimum wage, so we can still find ways to live sustainably. And then also in 2017, I partnered with a bunch of businesses, for some of my friends, and what we did was we found out that 30% of the college graduates that graduate from the University of Minnesota that have physical and invisible disabilities go unemployed. And what that means is that people who have physical disabilities, mental disabilities, that have college degrees but don't have a job for them to work at. So what we did is in 2017, we hired a career fair, a diversity inclusion project is what it was called, and where we brought in Energy Center, Comcast, all the big colleges in the area and organizations in the area to have our candidates who have degrees, that have masters, but also have physical and mental disabilities, have a way to actually get into the working force, because there's not a lot of organizations that they want to be inclusive, but they don't have ways to actually include people from different elements. Let's say a person that is blind. A person that is blind has to go to a website that is accessible, that has a voice that actually will help them navigate to the website. And what we found was a lot of the organizations that said they were inclusive, that they were looking to hire people from all walks of life, right, they didn't have a really good, easy job employment scale to actually get people in the door. So, working with helping them raising minimum wage is one of my big passions. Helping people who have disabilities get more opportunities. And I also, what my day-to-day job is, I work as a direct care staff. So I work with vulnerable adults that are over 18 years old that have physical and mental disabilities. Some of my clients have PTSD, they have dementia, and all the different ailments that would impede them. But what I do not only with my skill that I carry over as a motivational speaker, I help them shine light on how they would like to get into the world and how they can, but only if they're able to, again, navigate through all the obstacles life that actually, throws in their way. Many people that want opportunities, they want them, but they don't know how to actually attain them. So I like to do my best to let my network and help people within my network gain access to all these different resources.
We're speaking with Darius Lewis. He is a motivational speaker, book author, humanitarian, and of course, he's also an author. He runs companies as well. He's live on Apex Snapshots. Today on Apex One Radio, he's speaking live from the state of Minnesota here in the United States of America. So we've come across one of your books titled The Essence of Inspiration, the B Steps to a Richer Life, if I'm correct. I hope I had that title correctly. So tell us about this book. When did you write this book? What is it all about? What motivated its writing?
Yeah, so the purpose of this book is everyone in their lives gets inspired. Well, what is inspiration? Inspiration is a bunch of chemicals that are in your brain, but also when those come up, when those chemicals and spark you in your brain, you must also channel that inner thought and take it to the heart. So when I wrote the Essence of Inspiration, my goal was to really help people understand that there's all these different elements in the world. There's poverty, there's rich, there's obstacles, there's oppression, there's so many different ailments. But who are you in this world? Who do you want to be? And where do you want to see yourself going? Because we only have one life. We all know that we have a destination, but we all know that we have an end destination as well. Mm-hmm. Who we are along that journey will define who we are as we go along in life. So I wrote this book, the A to B steps to a richer life is that we all start at A, we all want to get to B, but there's also a destination that we can go as far as the letter Z. There's a lot of different letters on the way, but there's a lot of different obstacles. Right. If you're a person that's faith-based, if you know that God has intended you to do something great, it's up to you to define what greatness looks like in your life. Mm-hmm. And for you to be inspired to do more in your life, you have to set. You have to set what inspiration is in your heart and how you're going to inspire others. Because the work of being a humanitarian or an activist, no one person can do it alone. But when you bring one person into a room that feels the same way as another, then you're getting some traction. And my goal behind the book was just helping people bridge the gap between who they want to be rather than who they already know who they are. Because sometimes we live in a fantasy of who we want to be in the future, rather than believe that we are already that person today, and rather than see that, hey, I want to be that person tomorrow. The book really helps people define who they are today, so they can live each day in the now rather than later.
Interesting. We're speaking there with book author, motivational speaker, humanitarian. And of course, his live in this edition of Apex Snapshots, just on Apex One Radio. So, Darius, you're going to take a very short break for just 60 seconds, and we will be right back with you. Time for us to do some music from this end.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Melody.
Mon bébé, toi tu veux seulement me jongler. At the time I best baby you not fit even appreciate. Pourquoi tu parles pas? I talk you no answer. You see me like Lanza, girl I don't tire. Never, never. I no go be a mumu again. Never, never. I no go call me a phone again. Never, never. Je ne t'appellerai plus mon bébé. Never, never. I no go walk the young mass again, yeah. Tromper, tromper, tromper. Tu n'es jongle, tromper. Jongle, jongle, jongle. Tu n'es jongle, jongle. Tromper, tromper, tromper. Tu n'es jongle, tromper. Jongle, jongle, jongle. Tu n'es jongle, jongle. Baby, I be this when I live for your name. Mes amis se moquaient de moi, que gars tu es devenu pas plus. For the shame that I went through, I swear baby I'm in regret. For the love that I have for you, girl, it's hard for me to say. Never, never. I no go be a mumu again. Never, never. I no go call me a phone again. Never, never. Je ne t'appellerai plus mon bébé. Never, never. I no go walk the young mass again, yeah. Tromper, tromper, tromper. Tu n'es tromper, tromper. Jongle, jongle, jongle. Tu n'es jongle, jongle. Tromper.
That piece of music there is titled Never, Never. The artist is Link. It has brought the time to 27 minutes to 7 here in the studio of Apex One Radio. We're broadcasting from the United States of America. It's Apex Snapshots, the edition of the 3rd of November 2019. It's exactly 5:37 in Minnesota, from where our guest now joins us once again. Welcome back, Darius.
Thank you, thank you.
So how long have you been a motivational speaker?
I have been a motivational speaker. It has now been 6 years. So I started being a motivational speaker when I was 20. I'm 26 years old now.
Wow. So is there something that motivated you to become a motivational speaker?
So one thing that motivated me was me discovering how to learn and tell my story. Mm-hmm. When I was going through it, I was living with only $1.78, and I met a mentor. Again, she took me under her wing, and she said, for For who you are, Demarius, you have to define what that looks like. And for your story and your journey, you have to be confident and vulnerable enough to actually say that and actually express it. So when I started to really, ask God, who am I and who do I want to be,